My name is Samantha Johnston, and I am the coordinator of housing services here at Les Terrasses Montfort Renaissance. Montfort Renaissance is a large mental health and addictions organization here in Ottawa that is proudly accredited to offer services to French-speaking individuals as well as Anglophones. So I have been with the agency for almost 6 years now. I started as an addictions counselor in another program, and I quickly moved into an amazing researcher position where I was able to do a lot of research because we had some funding. So I was able to research and develop a few of our addictions services and programs that are still running today. And then I transitioned to this program under the housing umbrella where I did some research and development for this service and was involved in the rolling out and acquiring of 48 clients, males and females, hiring a team of residential support counselors, and starting operations. So a bit about me, my academic background is a bachelor's in psychology, as well as a master's degree in counseling psychology. I quickly started at Montfort Renaissance after that and have been thoroughly enjoying my time with this organization ever since. So, to give you a little bit of a background of exactly the approach that we use and the mandate that we have for the services that we offer. As mentioned, there is a housing epidemic in the city, and so the City of Ottawa is putting a lot of funding and a lot of effort into developing supportive housing programs like this one. And so what the research has shown is that the housing first approach is the best approach to utilize in supportive housing. And so we come from two approaches. We come from the housing first approach as well as the harm reduction approach. And so what Housing First is it's an approach that came out of the United States many decades ago that shows that individuals simply need a roof over their head. And so what they were finding is that bringing these vulnerable folks into a housing environment, but putting stipulations on them around time of sobriety, needing to participate in an addictions rehabilitation program, being discharged if they relapse or if they behave badly. Those types of stipulations were not lending to a successful housing situation for these individuals. And so they realized that we need to kind of back up a little bit and be a bit more realistic around the fact that these individuals require a home. They require support, but it really needs to be on their terms in order for them to be successful. And so that's what Housing First means, is let's give them a house first, and then let's offer them services on their own terms that they can choose to accept or not. And so that's what a lot of the supportive housing programs in the city go by, and it's been successful so far in the research. The other approach that we utilize is harm reduction, which maybe a lot of people have heard about but may not know a lot about, and that is just the idea of giving individuals safe and clean using supplies so that we can diminish the risk of infection transmission between users, and also ideally lessen emergency room visits, which is another big goal of ours as a program, is to support individuals here and prevent them from having to return to the emergency room time and time again as a result of their mental illness or substance abuse or physical health issues. And so what that means is we run a full harm reduction program on site, meaning we give syringes, we give clean pipes, we give condoms and other using paraphernalia for the clients to use. And what that allows for us to do is to create a really open and non-judgmental relationship around their consumption. And so if someone, for example, is an IV drug user, which we know can increase likelihood of overdose and unwanted death, when someone comes to us and asks for a syringe, we're able to have a really open conversation about what are you going to consume? Are you going to consume in the next 15 to 20 minutes? Can we come and call you or just knock on your door to make sure you're okay in about 30 minutes? And so it's non-judgmental, it's open, they feel safer to consume here, and as a result, we're able to support them that way. And so with the Housing First and the harm reduction together, that is what ultimately makes a supportive housing program work. So Les Terrasses is only one program under a big umbrella of services that Montfort Renaissance offers. And so Montfort Renaissance is a francophone mental health and addictions organization in Ottawa. And we offer services under many umbrellas, including mental health, addictions, support to seniors, and housing, ultimately. So that's what Les Terrasses is. We also, under the housing umbrella, offer subsidies to many folks in the community to get a subsidy for their rent, where we're able to support them that way in the regular housing market. And then, of course, some other services within Montfort Renaissance, just to name a few, include a non-medical detox facility for individuals who wish to safely detoxify from drugs and alcohol. We also offer multiple case management and social work type services for individuals with mental health issues in the community that need a community worker to support them and check in on them. And we also have a seniors residence downtown, just to name a few. So the purpose of Les Terrasses is to offer long-term supportive housing to the chronically homeless population. So we offer bachelor apartments to people that are exiting the shelters who have been deemed chronically homeless, and we offer housing support to them on a long-term basis. So Les Terrasses has been around since the summer of 2017, around May or June. It was a long building process, about 3 years to build the building prior to that, and we've been running with 48 residents for about 4 years. So the services that we provide to the residents are many. Because the folks that live here are coming from chronic homelessness, which chronic homelessness is 6 months in a shelter in the last year. That's how we define it. And so these individuals are coming with mental health issues, they're coming with active substance abuse, as well as some pretty significant trauma backgrounds. So we offer 24/7 supportive care. So we have 2 counselors that work around the clock to offer residential support in the form of crisis intervention, life skills development, such as cooking and cleaning and developing a healthy routine. We offer activities, recreational and psychoeducational. We do medication distribution for the clients that need it. We help them keep their units clean if they need some support with that. And we play a very big role in connecting our residents to the community, that being their circle of care. So their doctors, their families, their power of attorney, their lawyers. So we do a lot of care coordination and appointment coordination for them as well. The individuals that we serve are considered single adults. We can take individuals as young as 16, though in our experience, they're not often successful in our program specifically, just because we have a bit of an older demographic. But we do serve males and females. And we also prioritize francophones as well as anglophones. But being a francophone organization, it's important for us to keep a good percentage of French-speaking clients at all times. So clients can stay here for as long as they want. It is long-term. They sign a month-per-month lease, and they can be here as long as they would like to access services with us. We do have some individuals who have been here since day one. A good many. And we also have some other people that have sort of rotated through and have seen this more of a transitional space for them. So it really depends on what their goals are and what they're looking for. So where do we get our support? So we get our support, funding primarily is from the city. The City of Ottawa has a really big goal and plan to end homelessness as a result of the housing epidemic that we're all dealing with. So the majority of our funding comes from the City of Ottawa. In terms of other supports, we really depend on the partnerships that we have with other agencies in the community to support our clients. For example, we have a strong partnership with the Montfort Hospital that allows us to have a nurse practitioner available to us a couple days a week to provide primary care to our residents. And we also have great partnerships with some other mental health and addictions agencies that can help to support our clients and more in the community, given that we do more of the housing side. What could help our clients in the community? I think it starts with videos like this, which is just raising awareness of what we do and the individuals that we serve. I think it's really important for individuals to be aware of the fact that the folks that live here are coming from really vulnerable backgrounds, and to try and be mindful of the stigma and stereotypes that we place on individuals that suffer with active mental health and addictions issues. So that's one. And other than that, I just think compassion, a general understanding, a willingness to welcome our residents in the community, and apart from that, we really do appreciate donations in the form typically of food. We do benefit a lot from the food bank just across the street, but the clients' food security is a big issue for the people that live here. So can the clients come back after they've left, or what does that look like? So the residents here, as I mentioned, do sign a lease, so they are considered tenants. And so we need to therefore respect all of their rights under the Residential Tenancies Act, and that actually makes me a landlord in that way. So I have a couple of hats, clinician and landlord. And so where we typically draw the line with our clients in terms of keeping them in this service or not is around violence. So if a client has been significantly violent or threatening, and we've done our due diligence to offer them services to prevent that, at that point we would potentially pursue eviction or discharge. In the event that the individual's exit was as a result of a pretty significant violent episode, we've decided as a team to not welcome those individuals back. However, if someone decides to leave because they don't think it's for them, and then down the road they would like to re-enter services, we would absolutely welcome them back. What is it like to work here? We often say it's rock and roll. So it's a very active facility. It can be calm sometimes, but then if there's a crisis, it can be quite significant. A lot of individuals say that, oh, it must be very gratifying to work in this field. And I often need to sort of explain the fact that when we're dealing with individuals with active substance abuse issues, their goals are not always groundbreaking. Sometimes a major success is getting up and having a shower and going to their doctor's appointment. And so it's important for us to be mindful of what success means for our clients, so that we don't have over-the-top expectations for what their recovery or what their journey is going to look like. But it is a very dynamic environment. I really enjoy the partnerships that I'm able to have and the collaborations I'm able to make in the community with the various circles of care that my clients have in their lives. And that being said, it's also difficult, because some of the lives of the folks that live here can be difficult to see and challenging to see, in the way of drug-induced psychosis or overdose or death, early on in their life when they may have had a long life to live. So there's that reality of our clientele as well. But all in all, we are proud to say that we are offering housing to individuals that need it, and that everyone deserves a home without having any stipulations placed on them around sobriety, engaging in programming or anything like that. They deserve a home, and that's what they're here for. Rules for individuals to come and join us and to learn from us. We do typically have a placement student with us pretty much most of the year. We invite students from La Cité Collégiale, as well as Algonquin, and sometimes from the universities, individuals who are training in social work or addictions case management is typically what we see. We do offer a pretty frontline or dynamic placement environment. So when we collaborate with the schools, we typically ask for someone who may have some experience in the field already, as well as who is bilingual. and who is rather mature because they're really thrown right into it. So, but yeah, they can always reach out to me and connect that way if they're interested in volunteering or learning from our clientele.